Can you share any techniques or tips for overcoming self-sabotage and limiting beliefs that hinder personal and professional growth? Because the reason why I wanted you to face this question squarely is it might be a time I just cut that section alone, send it to somebody. Instead of giving them a 2-hour video to watch, I can say, I want to listen to Paul on this issue, okay? And send them that tape that is 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So you are going to help us address this, encapsulate it, try to make it succinct so that people can understand those techniques or tips. You've been there, done that for overcoming self-sabotage. I see that a lot. It's why this question is important to me. When I now have someone like you in front of me, self-sabotage and limiting beliefs is what has hindered a lot of people in their personal growth. So if you can help us with your experience of over 31 years dealing with this stuff to advise normally sound human beings, not the ones on drugs, not the ones in Afghanistan, the ones trying to run a business. Normal guys, what are the techniques that you can share with them for overcoming self-sabotage and limiting beliefs? Go for it, Paul. You are rocking it. Let's go.
One of the ways that we can overcome our self-sabotage and our limiting beliefs is in the way in which we talk to ourselves and in the way in which we plan our days and plan our events. Remember, things are going to happen to you. That's just life. I remember Rocky, if anybody's watched the Rocky movies before with Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone. Yes. Yeah. He says, life ain't all rainbows and sunshine. It's a cold, nasty, and hard place, and it will knock you down to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. Nobody is going to hit as hard as life. It's not about how hard you're hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. Now, if you know your value, go and get what you're worth. But don't be pointing the finger at him and her saying that you ain't where you want to be because of them. Losers do that, and that ain't you. So let's think about that. Life is going to hit us, folks. It's going to knock us down to our knees. One of the ways that we overcome these challenges is that we examine them and we put our minds to saying, okay, that just happened. And that's not going to define me. Whatever has happened to me, say I got some really bad news, maybe I lost my job, maybe a relationship didn't work out, and I'm really feeling this, I get to choose how I'm going to respond to this event. So to overcome that self-sabotaging of giving in, of staying on the mat, as the image that I gave you with Rocky, if Rocky had been knocked to the mat and never got up again, the movie would have been over and it would have been, hey, well, that wasn't great. That wasn't a great movie, but he didn't. He got up every time because he didn't let the knocks of life define him. He had more in store, and he drew from his energy, from his internal energy to face his opponent. And that's sometimes life. Life is going to be our opponents. So when you want to overcome self-sabotage and your limiting beliefs, you have to be that warrior that stands up to them and says, you will not define me. I get to do that. I get to choose how I feel about these circumstances. And I can lean on my coaching. I can lean on other people. And this is another way of really facing life's challenges by saying, what is it about this event that I can control? I got to focus on what I can control and what I don't want to focus on what I can't control. And if something happens to you, I'll take COVID-19 as an example. When that happened, so many people were concerned that they were going to die, that they were going to catch it, their loved ones were going to catch it, and really got into this self-sabotaging state of fear. A lot of people gave in to, I'll listen to the news and I'll really be afraid and I'm going to die. Whereas other people said, okay, that's something that I can't control. The disease I can't control, but what I can control is how I respond to it. I can control my physical distancing. I can control washing my hands. I can control my my attention to the news and limiting it. I can do all these things. So one of the techniques for overcoming self-sabotage and your limiting beliefs is to ask yourself, what is it about this that I can control? And then do that. Don't think of the outcome. The outcome is something that you can't control. And for example, if you're thinking and you're afraid of a negotiation you're going into, well, you can't control whether or not you get that negotiation to the outcome to be successful. What you can focus on is bringing your best self to the moment and having, remember I told you about peer, planning, intent, engagement, bringing that out, having a negotiation with yourself and saying, you've got this, you're ready for this. Go out and believe.
Again, for this particular question, because I think it's even more relevant here than elsewhere. So can you go over that peer strategy of being able to deal with this where it applies? Go ahead. You understand what I said?
Absolutely. I created what is called peer negotiating, P-I-E-R, and the peer really represents a successful way of approaching life and business as an entrepreneur, as a negotiator, as a salesperson, as a human being, as someone involved in a relationship. Now, I want you to imagine, for example, even the idea of a date, all right? So if we use the peer for dates, it'll make sense. And it's very simple. The P stands for planning. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who really wants to work out your mental wellness, whatever it is, you plan for it. If it's a negotiation you're going into, you want to find out as much as you possibly can about the person you're going to be negotiating with, the company, what it is that you present, the questions that you're going to ask. You plan. Imagine you're going on a first date. You're going to want to know as much as you possibly can about the person that you're going to date. You're going to want to present yourself, clothe yourself well, pick a place to meet. You're going to want to prepare yourself for that date. It's the same principle. I, in peer, is the intent. What is your intent? If your intent is focused only on yourself, for example, if you're going to the negotiation and you're going to talk all about you, it's going to be about you. Hey, this is what my company's got. This is your problem, and we've got all the solutions for you. We got this, we got that, and you're going to be really smart by dealing with us. What's going to happen there is that your intent is focused on you. It's not focused on your client. You never asked those questions. You never asked what it is that you're looking for. What are you looking to solve here? What is it that I can do to help you get there? Let's do a good match. Now let's go back to the dating principle that I was talking about using peer. If you went into that date, and I'm talking to guys or girls, whoever, but if you went into that date, you asked that person out for a date, and you went in and you said, hey, I'm the best thing that you've ever met. I've got all of your solutions. I know that I'm the person for you. You don't even have to look any further. What do you think your date's going to think of you then? They're going to say he or she they never even asked what I'm looking for. They never showed genuine interest in me. Why would I go out with such a person? They're not listening to me. So let's apply that to your business, where if you think you've got all the solutions without asking the questions, what is it that you're worried about? What is it that you're looking to solve? Am I even a good fit? We may have a negotiation, and I come to find out if I ask these important questions, you might say, well, I'm looking to solve this. And I'm thinking, we don't have that. No, that's not something we can do. So let me refer you to someone who can. Without asking the questions, you have no idea. So your intent has to be focused. And how do you do that? You ask important open-ended questions. You get information. You show genuine interest in that person. So that's the planning and the intent. The E is for entrance and engagement. When you first meet someone, have a smile. Check your body language. Negotiate with yourself. Put your chin up, your shoulders back, and say, I've got this. Walk in, and if you're comfortable in shaking hands and the other person is comfortable in shaking hands, shake hands. Have a warm smile. Hi, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you for taking your valuable time to meet with me. I'm excited about this, and I can't wait to get to know you and to hear what it is that we can work on together. So I'm excited. That is your beautiful entrance. And when you engage someone by seeking first to understand and then to be understood. You don't say, I've got your solution. I've got X, Y, and Z. I've got this. I've got that. How could you know? As a hostage negotiator, I didn't do that. I didn't go in a hostage situation and speak to the hostage taker and say, well, I know what you're going through, and the only way that you can get out of this is by giving yourself up and come on out. Otherwise, we're going to shoot you. You know, like, whoa, wait a minute. Lives are at stake here. You haven't even listened to me. That person who's taken a hostage could be in crisis. It could be that they were caught in a situation where they had no idea what they were doing, and they grabbed an innocent person because they had no other way of getting out, and they weren't.
That reminds me, sorry to cut in. That reminds me of that movie where what's his name now? This very popular black actor. The daughter needed a surgery. Sorry,
Denzel Washington.
Denzel. In that movie, the daughter needed I think it was a heart transplant or something, or a liver transplant, and they didn't qualify for insurance. Remember that movie?
I do.
Got frustrated, he went to the hospital and held the whole hospital hostage. Now, when the hostage negotiators come, if they didn't understand his motivation, okay, it looks like he's just a criminal who is coming to just, but he has lost his mind because of his child. So I understand what they are saying 100%. Go ahead.
Yes, I believe that movie was John Q or something along that line.
Yeah, you got it. It's John Q. One of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Oh, and what you just said, Dr. Ope, is so true, because we don't know the motivation. We have no idea. I'm going to share with you a story a little bit later on, if you permit me, but it really exemplifies what I'm talking about here. Is when you ask these questions, remember I shared with you the 3 most valuable lessons that I could. We are more similar than we are different. We get what we give, and the art of really actively listening. So in order to be successful, we really got to put ourselves in the shoes of the other person. We're more similar than we are different. So imagine someone's taken a hostage. What's the motivation behind that? I don't know unless I ask questions. What is it that I can help you with? Now, it doesn't matter if this is a personal relationship or a professional relationship. If you're involved in a negotiation, or you're involved in speaking to a loved one who is in crisis or angry or whatever, when you approach the situation as I approached hostage negotiations or crisis negotiations with these words, you will make a significant difference in the outcome. Here's the words. I'm here to help. How can I help you? Wow. When you say, I'm here to help, how can I help you? Or words like that, you have a client, a customer who's coming to buy something from you, and they're not sure, and you say, hey, hi, I'm here to help you. How can I help you? What is it that you're looking for, and how can I help? Wow, those are words. You are really helping them to open up and to discuss what it is they're looking for, to see if you have what they have or what they need.